Hello everyone. Today we will see how to build autoencoder in TensorFlow 2.0. Before going to the code, first we will see the basics of autoencoder. Autoencoder is nothing but stack of two neural network. First is called encoder and second is called decoder. This encoder can be anything. It can be a recurrent neural network, it can be convolution neural network, it can be simple dense neural network. This as well as decoder can be anything. Decoder can be convolution neural network, recurrent, or our simple dense neural network. So the thing is, uh, we will provide our original input to the encoder output the compressed representation of original input. Oftenly it is also called a latent representation. So this latent representation we will feed to the decoder, and decoder will reconstruct our input using this latent representation. Encoder oftenly use for dimensionality reduction also. So PCA, principal component analysis, is also used for dimensionality reduction. Encoder is also used for dimensionality reduction. So this is a basic idea of autoencoder. We will basically we will perform autoencoder on MNIST dataset. So let's go to the code. So so this is a notebook. I will link the link of this notebook in the description. So first we will import some necessary stuffs. Basically we are importing a dense layer, input layer, convolution 2D layer, flatten layer, reshape layer, as well as convolution 2D transpose layer from the Keras. So basically convolution 2D transpose is nothing but the inverse of convolution operation. And we are loading our MNIST dataset. So and some numpy matplotlib for plotting the for plotting. So first we will load the MNIST dataset. Basically the statement return train and test set. We only need a X train, we don't need a Y train. Basically we are reconstructing our input, therefore. So basically this MNIST dataset is a grayscale. So the shape of the X train is 6000 into 28 comma 28. The dimension of basically the dimension of a channel is a missing. Basically it is a grayscale database, then it contain one channel. If it is a color, then it will contain three channels, for first for red, second for green, third for blue. So let's reshape this X train as well as X test. So we are reshaping, basically we are just adding a one dimension here, last 1 and it is a -1 for number of rows. So after reshaping it, let's normalize our data set, because this is a grayscale image. So our pixel value will the minimum pixel value is 0 and maximum pixel value is 255. So we are just dividing with 255. So basically here we are dividing X train with 255 and X test with 255. Now let's define a network parameter. As we know, our input will be 28 comma 28 comma 20 28 comma 28 comma 1, because this is our shape of the image. Then we are defining a batch size, and we are defining a latent dimension. As I already mentioned, latent dimension is nothing but latent representation is nothing but compressed representation of your input. So if your input contain 28 features or 28 column, so this encoder will represent it in most useful way, using less input dimension, less features. So let's define an encoder here. So basically encoder is nothing but a one sequential model. The first layer is an input layer, and our input shape is 28 comma 28 comma 1. Second layer is a convolution 2D layer, because we are working on image. So convolution, so therefore I use convolution layer. So here the filter is 32, kernel size is 3, and activation is ReLU. You are free to modify it. You can use activation CeLU also. Basically it is a version of the ReLU. Then next layer is also convolution layer, but filter is a 64, kernel size is same, activation is same, stride is also same, and padding is also same. After that, after learning the important important features of the image, then we are flattening it. Then we are then last layer is our dense layer. So this dense layer output our latent dimension, which is 20. So this is our encoder. It is a simple encoder. So let's run the summary. So our first convolution layer output is 14 14 32. Second convolution layer output is 7 7 64, and obviously if you flatten this, it will become 3136. Basically it is a 7 into 7 into 64. And our last layer is a dense layer, which is a it will give 20 as output shape. So this is our summary of a stacked encoder. Now let's go to the decoder. Decoder is simply reverse of the encoder. Decoder will get input, which is a latent dimension. Our latent dimension is a 20. So first layer is the input layer, and the input shape of this layer is our latent dimension, and latent dimension is 20. After that we are secondly is our dense layer. As we know, we are just a number of neuron is a 7 into 7 into 64, and again we are reshaping it to the 7 comma 7 comma 64. And now third layer is a convolution 2D transpose. Basically it is most important layer in decoder, because we are using convolution 2D layer in encoder. So convolution 2D transpose is nothing, it only perform inverse convolution operation. Basically it upsamples your image. Convolution operate basically convolution is when you apply convolution on your image, it will give important insight. And convolution 2D transpose is just give the important insight to the convolution 2D transpose, it will generate an image. So this is the convolution 2D transpose. So first layer is a convolution 2D transpose, filter is 64, exactly opposite to the encoder. Second is a 32 convolution 2D transpose, filter is a 32, kernel size is 3, activation ReLU. And last convolution transpose layer, filter is a 1, and activation is a sigmoid. Now let's see the summary of stack decoder. So our dense layer will contain 3136. Basically it is equal to the 7 into 7 into 64. Then we are reshaping it. Then first convolution 2D transpose layer output is a 14 14 64, and second is a 28 28 32. Basically convolution 2D transpose is used for upsampling. So and last convolution transpose output shape is a 28 comma 28 comma 1. Basically it is expected output shape. Now we already built a stacked encoder as well as stacked decoder. Let's build auto encoder using this stack encoder and stack decoder. Basically just you need to place this two neural network. Basically it just need to connect it. So using this stack encoder and stack decoder, I am making one sequential model. So this statement is only basically it is creating a sequential model. After that, this auto encoder I am compiling it with optimizer Adam and loss binary cross entropy. Here you can change the optimizer to the SGD RMS prop, but in this case I found Adam is working good. And loss function is a binary cross entropy. Here basically last layer is last in decoder, the activation function of the last layer is a sigmoid. So binary cross entropy loss works very good with sigmoid. So therefore I choose binary cross entropy. After that, let's fit the model. So here I am fitting with xtrain. Our input is also xtrain, our output is also xtrain. Validation split is 0.1, epoch is 20, batch size is a 32. We already mentioned this batch size here. And callbacks, basically callbacks is the early stopping callbacks, and patience equal to 5. Basically it is nothing but if the validation loss is not decreasing consecutively 5 epoch, then just stop the training. After training, so we are just predicting using X test. So here we are predicting, and basically this code is to show the image. So this is a X test and this is a predict. So first image is the X test image from the testing data set, and second is our prediction. So you can see that the prediction is very good. So there is some little bit noise. Yeah, it basically it's fine. You need to train the autoencoder for more epoch, and you need to basically tune the parameters here, because yeah, in optimizer we are just using default learning rate, and we are not decaying our learning rate as training goes on. So you need to tweak it. So this is the way you will build an autoencoder using Keras. Thank you so much.